All right, first headline, Yahoo News, student loans. New report shows which colleges offer the best return on investment. The new report includes a R.O.I, which is return on investment calculator that lets you search 3,349 colleges. In addition to the elite universities you'd expect, with a lot of Ivy League schools, which don't pay off. By the way, the Ivy League schools, they pay off. They pay off for the people that are running those things. Go do your own research on the hedge funds. I might pull that up later in the program. I got it right here in my inbox. It'll take me 30 seconds to find it because my inbox looks like my closet. But I'm telling you, the R.O.I. here is not what you think it is. And they got billions of dollars in their slush funds, I like to call it. Endowments, Ken. They're endowments. Oh, spare me. The top colleges, based on the report's full model, include places like Stanford, MIT, and Yale. I mean, you just say those names and your pinky finger starts to just come up a little bit. And you're looking for your little teacup because of Stanford. My voice changes, by the way, when I say MIT, Yale. You know what that is? None of the young people are going to know this. For everybody under the age of 30, I'm going to give you something to YouTube. Go YouTube Thurston Howell from Gilligan's Island, and you just heard it. Yeah, yes, darling, please bring my tea. That's all that's for. It's all for you to say things like that. Yeah, where'd you go? I went to state school. Where'd you go? Yeah, so I went to Yale. The Harvard. Please. Nobody gives a crap. You're the only person that cares. The model of this report and this calculator works by dividing the college earnings premium. All right. This is the pay that students would get after graduating from Harvard. And it divides it by tuition costs. So pay after you graduate divided by tuition costs. Then it takes into account a range of other factors from student debt levels to completion rates, as well as the labor market discrimination many grads will face. Now, one of the people in the study who conducted the study said something that's very important here. One of the things that they're concerned about in their report is making sure that students who have the most to gain from college, this would be women and people of color, are attending worthwhile institutions. This is a good thing here. And that it's protecting students from predatory institutions that may not provide any payoff at all. They want policymakers and student loan distributors to wake up and make better decisions using the data. But here's the problem. Policymakers and student loan distributors don't give a crap about people. All they care about are profits. They care more about their fortunes than your future. Yes, I said that. Politicians don't care about your student loan debt and predatory. They don't care. If they cared, they'd make a change. They don't care. Politicians care about one thing: getting reelected. The federal government loans out around $150 billion annually to college students. Now, the U.S. Department of Education has the authority, I'm going to try to get through this without giggling, to technically punish colleges that have a large number of borrowers who can't repay their debt. The department rarely imposes such penalties. You think? Wah, wah, wah. The Department of Education doesn't care about schools that are racking up students who can't pay their debt back. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. I'm just going to tell you. Somebody needs to say it. I'll say it. They care more about their fortunes than your futures. That's the fact. All right. Next article, World Economic Forum. Now, this is fun. We had some bad news. Now we got some good news as we talk about alternatives and the way the world is shifting. Democratize education. This is a new alternate reality course to help entrepreneurs succeed. So Wharton Interactive is the organization behind this particular product. It's called Blue Sky Ventures. It is a 60-minute, on-demand, alternate reality course that leads players through a series of decisions and interactions designed to teach them strategies for entrepreneurial success. It's structured to move players methodically and logically through problem solving. Players will also learn about management and leadership along the way. So here's one of the examples. So there's this fictional character, Thomas Winthrop, who's hyperventilating. This is the opening scene of this game, if you will. He's hyperventilating into a brown paper bag, old school. He's panicking over a presentation that he has to give to the partners in his startup investment firm, which is of course called Blue Sky Ventures. He's got nothing. He's having a brain fart, and he needs help. And so the players are basically instructed they got to come in and help this guy. Now, obviously none of this is real, but the panic-inducing pitch meeting is a real problem that real people face every day. And so this video call that he is preparing for, he's freaking out over, is the opening scene, as I mentioned. And so people have to jump in and help out. Now, this is a direct quote from Sarah Toms, who's the executive director of Wharton Interactive. She says, we want to get the learner into this idea of flow because that's when the brain starts to do that pattern recognition that we want them to take forward and apply in the real world. Did you catch that? They're teaching people how to think and interact with real world problems so that when they get to the real world, they can do something with it. That's not in our current system. And again, I'm speaking personally. My whole brain is dark, as Amanda pointed out last week. I don't know anything about science and math. I'm terrible at it. I don't think well that way. That's my part of my brain doesn't work. Why would you teach a kid like me algebra? Why? Other than to maybe go, all right, when we do this formula, this is going to help you in this way. So there you go, folks. There are alternate ways to learn, and we ought to be doing this in our schools. What are we waiting on? We know it's broken. What are we doing? Let's rise up.